and welcome to another episode of the Power of Choosing podcast,
where today we're talking all about how to get what you want.
I love it. I am a firm believer that you can, and I'm stopping myself saying should here, you can and you deserve to get what you want.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's so interesting because right now, as you say it, I am 100% yes, absolutely. But going back to your should in a way is when you're not in the energy, when you're in a different energy, a low vibrational energy, it is one of those things of like, do I really get to have what I want is kind of playing through my mind. So
yeah, and that's it. Do I really get that? Am I allowed? Is that real? I know some people that are like far away and they deserve it, they get it. But me, now I'm just little old me with my little old life. Do I get to dream bigger? Do I get to expand, be more, do all the things that my heart desires?
yes.
And at some point, we decide, no, we don't get to. We have to play it safe. We're not good enough. And all these things are that weight of, oh, maybe not that. Maybe that's just not for me. And we're here to say, but what if it is for you?
Mm.
What if you do get to have a life that you love, that brings you joy?
Mm-hmm. And I think I can speak for both of us. We want people to actually be able to grab and actually get the life that they want to have, that they're too scared to even necessarily dream can be a possibility. And it's a fun place to play from, but there are a lot of fears that kind of sit in and keep us from actually wanting and striving to get the things that we want in our lives because, oh, I can't possibly have that, or however that plays out for them.
Yeah. And there's so many reasons why you can't or you shouldn't or whatever that you can't get to what you want. And actually, we're here to say, yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
And here's how.
Mm-hmm.
We both agree that the first step is knowing what that is.
Yes, absolutely. Always the first step is the simplest, but the hardest to achieve, for the record, of like, what is it that you do want? And it is one of those questions I will ask clients or others, what is it that you want? And every time I'm fascinated with how many people actually will almost sit back and like move back because they're not used to being asked what they want, but that is the place to start from.
Mm-hmm. So actually, that's the second step, because the first step is letting go of all the you can't do things. Let's pretend everything's possible. Then what do I want?
Fair.
So my favorite question to ask people to help them figure this out is, when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I know what I did not want to be, which is I did not want to be a teacher. So I'm going to start that way. I didn't want to be a teacher. That's what my mom was. And everyone always asked me that. So I didn't have anything written. Maybe I was still playing in the space of possibility, but I knew I wanted to go into some kind of business was the avenue I wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm. And why was that?
I don't know. I have absolutely no clue as to what that was. Nothing.
So why not teaching?
Why not teaching? I guess I didn't like the structure that they had or that comes with teaching. It felt too much. But what's interesting is I am teaching now in a different way.
So really interesting. So when I asked you this question,
Yeah.
I had already decided that I knew the answer.
Okay.
And I think this is where you're trying to go. So this question doesn't always get you like an easy answer, but what it does is it has people thinking back to their childhood, thinking about what they wanted, thinking about what they didn't want. And a lot of I don't knows come up, a lot of figuring things out.
Okay.
And this is all what I'm listening for. And for you, I think what I know about you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is this structure versus freedom. And I think we're similar in that. And the teaching was this like, this is a path that you should do because your mom was this and you'd be good at it.
Yes.
And there's this other path of, business freedom, my own space, no one telling me what to do. It doesn't have to look a certain way. So it can be this thought of, okay, it was the teaching I didn't want to do. And from what you just said, it wasn't, because you are teaching people in a different way, but it's a way that is so uniquely your own that
Yes,
it doesn't feel pressure structured and teaching in the same way that in a school would be.
correct.
So I think for you, the thing that lights you up and the thing that you're passionate about is having freedom to be your own self, to be who you want to be in the world. And then now that's what you're giving others, which I think is beautiful.
Well, thank you for summing that up. That was really lovely.
So that's what I do as a life coach. So this question of what you wanted to be when you grow up, some people always knew, and that's what they are now. And when I thought back the same question for myself, I was thinking, well, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to have my business. It was the same idea of freedom. And that was actually later. So I went back even further to childhood. One was that I wanted to have money. I liked having it, and then I liked to be able to spend like extra money that I have for adventures and fun. And that's this freedom piece again. With money, you can do more things. And even further back, I used to love writing songs and performing. And that actually got squished quite quickly because of my lack of musical talent. I mean, I'm doing it in inverted commas. Like, I can't sing in tune. It's something that isn't my skill. And what I'm good at is writing poems. And that creative side has just started to come back out, because with kids, I sing a lot and I make up stories for them. And I've realized that actually this really lights me up as well. And I've actually just written a children's book, which is very exciting. And this is all things that in that question, I've gone like deeper and deeper to different parts of my life and realized, okay, freedom, adventure, money, creativity. They're all the things that light me up. So then I can check that with, okay, what am I doing now? So if I'd been asked when I was in sales, when it was getting more and more enclosed and you have to do this and a structure, I wasn't as happy and it wasn't fulfilling my soul. And then now that I'm in life coaching, I have my own business and I get to do things my own way, then yes, tick, 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 okay, I'm on the right path. And that's why that question is a really great way to explore what your heart has always wanted, especially when it was free to be who it was as a child before it got conditioned.
Curious, have you found it where people enjoy the structure?
Yeah, so my sister always wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
And she knew that was her calling and that was the plan for her. And she loves it. She loves that she has her start time and her end time. She loves that she's in charge of a classroom. She is an amazing teacher.
Okay.
She loves those, I guess, the boundaries of how to work. And she makes it her own in that setting. And that's how she strives, and that's how her brain works, and that's what she loves.
Okay. That's helpful because you and I are both freedom people, which honestly, it makes sense because we're in the same industry. So I wanted to see that opposite of the structure aspect of someone loving structure and loving to thrive within that. So that's great.
Once you've done that exploring of that, okay, what did I want to be when I grew up? What is making my soul happy? What's my purpose? What lights me up? All these questions of like discovery, that's quite a broad thing. So then we want to make a vision of, okay, what could that look like in the real world now as I am with the skills that I have? And we want to start to make it real. So if your dream is to do something creative, act as if you would if you were that creative person. So you can create the life by like already believing that you have it.
I love this. I do have a client that is going through a transition. And so what's really interesting as you're saying all of that is they are a creative soul, and that's who I see them to be. But what's interesting as you were speaking is the creative soul, but the light got dimmed. So right now we're in a space of really lighting that up. And for me right now, it's like I'm doing a little spark here and there, and so it can grow. Sometimes there's a wobbly bit where we know what we want, but we're not quite there yet. So it's like, how do we get into this? We've stepped back so we can get into a space of being what we want to be as a long-term vision. I'm a big vision person. There's steps, tiny steps that you can take to step into who you are wanting to choose to be in those moments of achieving that goal.
Yeah, and I love that spark building. And that's what we do as coaches. And it's the most wonderful thing when you're sat opposite someone and they start to remember who they used to be or what they love, and they start talking about something, and you get drawn in because of how much passion and enthusiasm they have for it. And then you're like, yes, okay, this is it. This is what's lighting you up right now. This is what's getting me excited. It's what's getting you excited. And that is the thing, that if you get to do that as your job, as your lifestyle, it makes everything better and more joyful and more ease, because you're in that state of, I'm good at it. I love it. It lights me up. It's my passion. And wow, like how amazing if that can be your life. And it can be.
And I know we talk about it on many of our episodes, but it is true. And it's a path. Is like when it aligns with you, it helps you be able to, like, both worlds going together. What you want to create and being aligned to yourself helps in the stepping forward and achieving what it is that you do want.
So yeah, the visioning is that getting excited, lighting up the flame, thinking about like what your life would be if you worked with the kind of people that were your people. So every day you were having amazing connections and you really just loved going into work because you were showing up with people that were like-minded and it felt right. Or what if the work you did really gets your creative juices flowing, or it just aligns with you, or you're really helping the people that you're like really born to help. All of these things, how would it feel? What would it be like if you were in that now?
Well, also too, I think what you just said there is an important piece of this. There were parts when you were speaking where I personally got overwhelmed in the sense of like, what if I don't know all of these things? What I love about that is we are attached to a feeling. So when it gets overwhelming and we're not necessarily sure where to go, what is the feeling that I want to have is going to be such an important part. Whatever it is that you want, the feeling is connection with people. I'm connected to my artistry and creativity. Like that connection is the part to run from. So it's like having that feeling and attaching to that feeling can grow as you are stepping into the vision of what you want in your life.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said the thing about the overwhelm, because I can feel it and I'm getting excited because it's the work that I love. It's helping people to get there, to get where we are with this, like, life's fantastic. And it doesn't have to look a certain way. It's not a neat exercise. I'm thinking big paper with just, okay, what did I want to be? What do I want to be now? What lights me up? And let it settle, and then see what pops up and see where's the common thread. And it's okay if it looks messy and it doesn't have a thread that's clear to begin with. Trust the process, and things will pop up that are the gentle nudges to, this is who I'm supposed to be, and this is where I'm meant to be. You do need a vision to then start taking action, and maybe you need to start taking action to then see what feels right.
Yes, taking action, and then it's going to get wobbly, and then stepping back and going back to that purpose of like, what is the feeling I want to have? I think at least I know for me, I lose that often because I feel a lot of other things that don't necessarily align with it, like the fear steps in. And so I'm feeling fearful things. So for me, having in that clear vision of what is it that I want to feel in achieving what I want so that I can then focus on that. And I think that is such clutch. So like that is coming back to alignment in the sense of like, I'm going to go wobble off into overwhelm. And now I'm overwhelmed. Now I'm stressed, all of these things. I never get what I want, that whole place. But if you have a very clear vision of what it is that you want to feel when you achieve what you are looking out to achieve, then you can keep coming back to that, knowing what it is that you want to be feeling, because you're always going to be able to come back to that feeling. And it might look different than what your brain thought. Like mine was so open, going back to the business aspect. And throughout my entire life, it's been different things in business. And so that's okay because the feeling is that freedom. That's the through line in that.
Mm. It feels kind of anti what you're told, because in order to move forward, it makes sense to have a clear path. So I go
Right.
to university, I study to become a lawyer, I become a lawyer. It's nice, it's easy, it fits, it feels safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great if your vision is really clear of, well, this is just what my heart wants. Like my sister wanted to be a teacher. She followed all the natural steps and became a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And with other people, when it's not so clear, it can feel like, I have to pick something. And that's how you
Right.
end up picking things that aren't maybe quite right. And it doesn't feel like we're being very helpful by saying it's a feeling. And you have to trust us, because like knowing what that feeling is means that you can test different things and you will know if that's going to work. Because a lot of the times you can fit in different places. And by having a set tunnel vision of this is what it needs to be, you could miss out on everything that you don't already know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's not as clear as I would have liked this episode to be. And I feel like we're probably talking to our people that are a bit like, okay, I've done the structured way, I've followed the tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
This hasn't got me to where I want to be. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
And the what's next could be anywhere or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's really exciting.
Same for me. Yes, we are speaking to a certain person that is not in that structured sense of like your sister as the example, or a lawyer as an example, in the sense like go to school. It's very structured. Like it's a very clear path for that. We're not speaking to that. If that is the path that you choose, yay, you, go, you, so excited for you. However, that has not been my experience. I believe it hasn't been your experience, but it is like we talk to the open of possibility. Being open to possibility is a key factor of like what we typically are talking about. And so that doesn't mean there's only one way to do it. There's so many different options, and that can become overwhelming. That can become all of these fearful things, is what I'm speaking to in the overwhelming. But it is coming back to alignment of what is it that I want? What is it I'm looking to achieve? And when you come from that space, it isn't always like a here's your first step, here's your second step, here's your third step. It is more going to be that like feeling that is involved with it is going to be your guiding lights and really help you go on that path. So yes, it isn't clear, but it is clear when we get in touch with what is it that I want to be feeling when I achieve what I'm looking out to achieve.
Mm-hmm. And this doesn't mean that you can't not take action straight away. So the last point that I wanted to talk about in this how to get what you want is you have to start taking action.
Yes.
And yeah, action may be a lot easier when you have, this is what I want to be. I want to be a CEO of this company by the time I'm 40. Great. I've got this really clear vision. I can start doing my step by step what I need to do. Even if you don't have that, you can still take action towards where you want to go. So whether that's looking at jobs and seeing what sparks something, trying to write if you think it might be creative, talking to other people about what they do and see how that feels in your body. Does that excite me? Does that not? And there's lots of things that you can start doing. There are jobs that you can get straight away to try them out. So this isn't about quitting everything and just not having money coming in. It's about that finding what lights me up. What's the easiest thing you can do? Google search. These are the things that I love. What would be the right job for me? It's whatever simple task it is to help you find that. Ask your friends, because they probably know quite a lot about you. If you could pick my favorite job, what would it be?
Well, I like that.
Ask 5 of your closest friends. Challenge. Start taking action, even if it isn't clear. And in the action, it will become clearer and clearer. And that vision will have more of a face and a shape until it becomes your reality and you're living a life that feels great.
Well, I always say that a lot of people want confidence, and confidence doesn't come first. It's actually by taking action. In taking action, the confidence will build. So speaking to what you're speaking about, the more action you take, the more you're going to start to learn, oh, I like this. I don't like that. It is taking those steps that you're going to start to discover what is most lighting you up.
So in answer to the question, how do I get what I want? Start moving towards getting what you want.
Thank you for coming to another episode of The Power of Choosing,
where today we talked about how to get what you want.